Hey guys and gals, David H. here with socialexpression.net. Another video for you. Today's on sensitivity and social anxiety. Reading this great book called The Enlightenment Process by Judith Blackstone. Not only reading it, but there are exercises in here that are really, really cool. And I incorporate some of these basic exercises in my Dissolve Social Anxiety home recovery program. And there's an interesting passage that I found directly related to sensitivity and social interaction that came up in this book on page 93. So I'm going to read from this book this passage, and here it goes. Many sensitive people report that they cannot tell in their daily lives if their emotional state is their own or if they have taken on the emotional state of people around them. These people are so disoriented by the many emotional states in the environment that they may begin to avoid social interaction, or they may become martyrs to their sensitivity, making their own hearts and bodies a kind of communal arena. Techniques have been developed for sensitive people to protect themselves from the vibrations around them, but these techniques both limit our openness to experience and promote the illusion that the feelings of others can harm us in some way. The vibrations of others can only harm us if we ourselves close our consciousness against them. When we become stable in our realization of fundamental consciousness, and this is a concept that she takes you through exercises to kind of realize your pure awareness underneath, we may feel another person's pain but respond to it, but we will not feel another person's pain as our own. So, what she's talking about here is, I don't know if you've experienced it, I've certainly experienced it, is that when we're sensitive people, and I'm willing to bet a lot of you out there are, maybe not all, but I've noticed that a lot of us tend to be introverts and highly sensitive people, is that we're really affected by people's emotions, and then we personalize it, and that's where we make it in the social anxieties, when we personalize it. So what she's speaking about is a way of kind of tapping into pure awareness and just being aware, or mindfulness really, in order to recognize that our systems are sensitive, yet not personalize it. And, while being able to stay open, because if you want a technique to kind of shield yourself, well, you're kind of defeating the purpose of being a sensitive and unique ability that you have innately. So I think it's really interesting to take a look at the sensitivity thing and embrace it and not shy away from it, not condemn ourselves for it, because it's sort of true that there is a social stigma against being sensitive and giving a fuck, pardon my French, and caring, about what other people feel, certainly about what you feel. And so then we try to repress it and hide away from it, and we kind of create a shell, and it just keeps it more in, and then we get crazy in our minds and get caught in our emotional soup by trying to, get away from it instead of just experience it. And maybe a lot of these emotions that are being picked up is the idea that you're picking up what other people are feeling, that they're transmitting, and it's not really you, okay? And then with our crazy minds, we're translating it into, oh, well, it is me. And so then you're picking up all these emotions from everywhere, and it becomes so intense, and you keep adding it into your story. Well, it's because I'm weird. It's because I'm too sensitive. It's because I'm socially awkward. It's because I'm all these reasons that are just made up in our minds. So, and I think that relates directly to anxiety in general, is having that higher sensitivity system. I certainly have a highly sensitive system and come from a genetic line of anxiety and high sensitivity. Although I think it's a bit sad to watch some people like my mother be sensitive, but then kind of harden on the outside to almost cope with it or deal with it instead of acknowledging it and going into it. I'm not sure if she realized how sensitive she was and picking things up like that. She didn't have social anxiety like I have. That came to be my own thing, because she wasn't shy like I was when I was little, and then turning into social anxiety. But anyways, blah, 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 blah about me. As always, check out Social Expression. Subscribe to the YouTube channel up here if you like what you see. I got blog posts every week. I'm working hard on my Dissolve social anxiety system, and it's based on acceptance and commitment therapy, or acceptance and commitment training. Also with things I've learned from my coach training about kind of how we observe and create our reality using beliefs and our body disposition, our emotions, our emotional state. A lot of good stuff in there. And what we do is we get in there and we take a look at what your story is so far, is one of the things we start with. And then we write the story of who you want to be. And that's just the beginning, kind of to set things, set the tone for the course. Then we get into, what you really value in life, because what it's about, overcoming social anxiety, for lack of a better term, is not about overcoming it. It's about getting back into your life, because we're focusing so much on social anxiety and how to get rid of it, and that we're awkward and that we're broken and all this crap. I'm not trying to demoralize, or not, that's not the right term, devalue, where you're feeling, but I'm saying we generate a lot of the stuff and continue to believe it, and then it stays in place. We're always trying to overcome this anxiety instead of, well, here's the anxiety, and I certainly have it, and I experience it, but to kind of expand around it, experience it, and go towards where we want, because obviously pushing it away and trying to make it go away hasn't been working for you, I'm guessing. So it didn't work for me. So when I came upon acceptance and commitment therapy, which is kind of, I consider a little more of a newer developed form of cognitive behavior therapy, we look at what your values are. I'm getting back to that. And then there's a big mindfulness training component to it, how to be aware of our thoughts and all that, so that we aren't constantly fighting with them, because they're going to come, so that we can act in accordance to what really matters to us and what we want to do in life, instead of making our life about the battle with social anxiety. We make our life about our lives and about us, okay? So pretty powerful stuff I've found, and I hope it works for people. It certainly worked for me, and I know evidence shows it works for a lot of people, especially mindfulness, just mindfulness training alone. But there's also an action component, so we do support, and part of coaching is supporting taking action. Therapy sometimes has action in it, but my experience with therapy is a lot of exploring and awareness building, which is great, but there's also an action component. How do we get you taking steps to getting into your life? There will be some stuff on exposure therapy, because that still is a part of dealing with your anxiety and whatnot, but that comes much later. We build a strong foundation with mindfulness and values and some action taking. And also, if you want to work one-on-one with me, I do offer one-on-one coaching. It's pretty affordable. I've tried to make it affordable, really affordable, to help people. Certainly cheaper than a lot of therapy out there. And as someone who's gone through the social anxiety thing, and I do have coach training. It's not like I haven't have zero training in coaching. And what coaching means, it's a way of creating a relationship between you and I to explore what your world is and how you want it to be and what's going on. It's not about me telling you, well, do this and do that and hurrah and here's my whistle. That's not what I'm talking about. Coaching, it's kind of a newer discipline that comes out of a lot of powerful questioning, a lot of active listening from my part to see what's going on, and we explore together. I don't assume that I know what you're going through, even though I've gone through social anxiety myself. You have your own version of it. So, and it is awareness building and action based. Like I said, in coaching, we look at you as the person being coached, as a coachee, as someone who's whole, resourceful, and not broken. Okay, so that's one difference too. Some therapists are totally, to me, like coaches, because they come to the client going, I don't really think you're broken. You just think you're broken. And that's the coaching perspective. And I'm going to be honest about that. Because, if you think you're really, really broken and want somebody to come and think that you're broken and that you need to be fixed, coaching probably isn't for you. But if you, feel normally neurotic with social anxiety, like what social anxiety is, and you don't believe that you're totally broken and beyond help, then I think coaching might be a good option for you. So you can always email me at Social Expression. And this video has gone on a long time. So anyways, I wish you the best in your social anxiety recovery. And we will talk to you soon. Bye-bye.